We have tier 8s. These are the Russian destroyers, some of my favorite. I have one of the premium skins on this one. I was able to get that from the 2-year event that World of Warships was having. Let's take that out for a spin, actually. It's always good to use the ships that you have your premium camouflage on. Just get them out of the way for the day so you can get some more profits. And that's really, what it's about. Have enough money, have enough experience to make your account as good as you can. Yeah, the Russian destroyer gameplay has really undergone a significant change ever since the rework of the carriers. Nowadays, airplanes can shadow you for a really long time, and the Russian destroyers don't really have the ability to fight off waves of fighters, and they're incredibly vulnerable to just being targeted by an aircraft carrier player that wants to eliminate you. Of course, usually you operate on the flanks anyway. I'm going to have to check my firing range on my guns. 3.5 kilometers, and my spotting range for air and detectability range for air is 3.5 kilometers. So when we have the ability to be spotted, we will also have the ability to shoot them. Now, for my gameplay, I'm going to want to go to the edges. I'm going to want to harass. The closest edge that I have right now is the west. I'm going to be harassing A, which means I want to get my guns pointed to my port. Port is left, starboard is right, in case people don't know nautical slang, nautical terminology. There's actually an interesting anecdote about that, of why port is left and starboard is right, is because the steering rudders in like the revolution of nautical rudder-based steering that happened at different places during different time periods. I think China had it in the 400 AD period, was always on the left, it was always on the right side. And when you did that, you couldn't have it next to the dock, otherwise it may potentially get damaged when it hits the dock or as it goes up and down in the water. So you'd always put port side to the left. Of course, they eventually moved, as technology advanced, to a center line steering rudder position, and that terminology kind of lost its purpose. But originally, that was the creation of port and starboard. Oh, I got a Kagero really close to us. See if we can get it over this island. Nope, just too close. Now, I don't want to be too close to this Kagero. Mostly I don't want to be too close to this Yamato. Not that it would target me anyway. It's kind of a waste of shells for a Yamato, because Yamato's guns are the largest caliber in the game, and the game developers have said they will not be having calibers larger than the Yamato. But if I'm going to duel this destroyer here, I'm going to want to be within his detection range, which should be about 6 kilometers. We can see on the map here, this is about 6.2 kilometers. 5 point something. He might not be wanting to fight me. He might be hiding behind this island. At which point, it's my job to spot him for the team. Oh, here we go. I'm spotted. Detected. Yep, there we are. Doesn't look like it's moving. Gonna bring it under some heavy fire. Of course, it's in smoke now. It doesn't look like it has plans to retreat. We're gonna drop a spread of torpedoes, and we're going to turn away. We're gonna keep our eyes on that. We're gonna start our timer for us being stealthed again, now that it cannot spot us. And that is about 6 kilometers in. Our torpedoes have an 8 kilometer range, so it should be well enough to smoke them out of that smoke. Or drive them out of that smoke. Oh, yep, here it is, moving. Clearly detected the torpedoes. I'm gonna try to get my speed up. get out of here. We're going to use our speed boosting, which is the Y key. Looks like we took some damage to our engines. That can be useful for throwing off the aim of our enemies. That's not useful. Fires are never useful. Ah, we inflicted a fire on them. Now he's in the middle of the boundary water. Ah, he knocked out our rear turret. What a blow. This is a very heated destroyer duel here. Of course, I think he came off worse in that situation. You can try to harass the Buffalo. I don't particularly want to get in a fight with the Buffalo, considering it's an American light cruiser, almost specifically designed to destroy destroyers. And now that we have our repair back up, it should be worth the risk to come back in. I might take the repair right now. Yeah, I think I'm going to repair just because, you know, at this stage of the map, 14 minutes 41 to go. I very well could be dead before my repair comes off a cooldown. And I definitely need to be in an HP superior position to engage this Yugimo. And I'd like to, you know, do it while I'm thinking about it, not before it's too late. So we're going to be really close to the border. If we hit the border, we'll get a speed reduction. We don't want that. Used to be, in the before times, a long, long ago, and the old guard remembers the borders did not give a speed reduction, and the technique was to make yourself as difficult as hit to possible by throwing off your opponent's aim by using that border, and then kind of fluctuating or fishtailing around. This Frederick de Grosso is getting too close for me. I do not like that. He may be within torpedo range at some point. I'm going to see if I can set up a torpedo run on him, just in case he turns out. Oh, and we're spotted. It's not very good for us. Yep, he's an A spec Frederick de Grosso. Of course, we're in his A range anyway. And then we're going to send a spread just in case he decides to turn. So that should help us get at least one hit. We are fairly faster. We're attracting a lot of unwanted attention. Yep, see he's turning out there. We just want to get off of this border. Oh wow, that is quite a lot of damage that we're taking. Although these torpedoes look like they're on target. Oh, there you go, we get one. And the Buffalo's gonna get us. Okay. Yep, didn't look like we had much support from this Izumo being scared off by the Yamato and the Frederick de Grosso, as well as the Buffalo here. Well, 17,000 damage. Did our damage back. Got a torpedo hit off. Probably could have done without that second run in. Just using. So good. DB stands for. Alright, so we could do its brother, the Ognivoy. This one I do not have as skilled a captain in. I'm really waiting for to get the demolition expert here. I think I just got our concealment expert. I might go expert marksman though. I'm not sure what I was waiting for, if I can remember. Would have been survivability expert. Or basic firing training, reducing the speed of my guns. As far as I can tell, it really doesn't need the extra speed. You know, we have a 9-second 180 turn time. I usually kind of save those for obviously battleships, but also, you know, artillery that has like a 15-second, or what's a really bad one? I think the Japanese DDs have a pretty 7.5. 7.5. Yeah, 26 seconds. Okay, this is the one I was talking about. 26-second turn time for your turrets is unacceptable, and they definitely need expert marksmen. Of course, this is a torpedo boat, so it's really difficult to use its guns anyway, but the Ognivoy's position is kind of a mid-range, like jack-of-all-trades destroyer to kind of give the Russian line something, I guess, more palatable for fulfilling the destroyer role. I could use concealment, of course, and camouflage. Radical camo on the Nagato. Oh yeah, this the camouflage salesmanship I think is the thing that World of Warships does the best, and that's really what they want you to buy into as a model. And you know, for a free game, there's so much content here, and it's endlessly repeatable. A lot of it is grindy, but if you enjoy the grind, then that's kind of what the game is in and of itself. Kind of, you know, existentially seeing through, you know, your leveling up in World of Warcraft or Destiny 2 or any of the other games. You know, at base, this game offers a huge amount of content, lots of variety. They're constantly adding to it. It's really, I'd say, worth the time and absolutely worth the money if you spend less than $30 on it, which I have, and I've been playing this game for about 5 years, now close to 4 years. Since it came out, I still have my pre-beta, my beta tags. I think I actually have alpha tags. Or no, I think I have alpha tags for World of Warplanes. So we're going to investigate A. I want to use some of these islands here to cover my retreat, to cover my escape. The Ognivoy has some good smoke. You know, it's kind of a standard destroyer, just has repair party alongside it, which is a great addition for the Russian line. My detectability is 6.3, so that's much better than the Kiev that I was playing earlier. And let's see what my opponents are. So we'll be going up against an Akazuki, a Hainseong. I don't know much about that one, and a Shiatsu. Those are all Japanese destroyers and a Pan-American destroyer, or Pan-Asian destroyer. And they will out-detect me. And they're probably one on the other side here. So I might just have to jump into smoke after identifying them. This Jean Bart and the Bismarck, both of those are pretty good at destroying destroyers if they choose to be. And of course we have to deal with the airplanes. Always the airplanes. And we don't have any air cover on my side. Of course. Well, looks like we're doing something. You could just go into smoke here. Play it conservative. You don't need to... Wow. Get ourselves too worked up. Can kind of harass this Akazuki here. Oh, it's blind dropping on us. I think it missed. This Enterprise, we've attracted quite a lot of attention. I do not particularly enjoy that. How much does my smoke have? A minute? I guess it's fine to stay here. See these incoming torpedoes. Gonna reverse dodge into them. Yep. Your spread is too wide. We're just contesting the cap at this point. We can do that for another 54 seconds. Kind of tie up the resources of the carrier, do some damage, shoot down two of its airplanes. Seems good. And we captured. We captured A. So we can stay here, or we can choose to go. We could, I guess, throw torpedoes into that smoke. I don't really like blind firing torpedo smoke unless I have a really compelling reason to do so. 17 seconds, we might just want to get out of detection range though. Got the cap, I did my job, smoke's starting to fade, it's fine. Just get out of here, reassess. We could do some torpedo attacks on this Bismarck. My torpedo range is 10 kilometers. Shiriatsu seems like it's coming up on radar. Yep, there we go. Let's see if we can gunfight the Shiriatsu a little bit. We are quite a difficult target to hit. Looks like we're reaching the Shiriatsu in a way that does not make them appreciate us. Alright, that was fairly good. We could add some AA cover to this Vladivostok. I'm not sure how to say the new Russian battleships that have come into the game. Yeah, I guess I missed their launch. I'm not specifically a battleship player myself. I prefer to do a great deal more work with my destroyers. Put out that fire. Fires on destroyers are very, very hurtful. To be honest, I'm very, very surprised that that Jean Bart did decide to take a shot at me. Don't want to get hit by that torpedo. We do want to shoot down these airplanes. Hopefully we could do that from behind this island. This Cleveland is going to be targeting us very, very directly. Let's just get behind this island as fast as we can. Okay. Overall, not bad. That's smoke. That's not what I wanted. I wanted this. It's been too long away from the game. And I don't want to torpedo my own friendly forces. Do want to take up this Cleveland's time though, and that's what we'll be doing. Really? Who is... Am I being radar spotted? Yes, I am detected by radar. Of course. Did not realize that the Cleveland had that radar, but it could have been a change. Alright, we might want to get out of here and help our Jean Bart takes out their Jean Bart. Oh, doesn't look like we had such luck. We still have that smoke. Jean Bart is coming away. I could probably suicide torpedo him, which is a very old technique. Yeah, let's try that. So we're going to go straight at this Tier 8 battleship. I think it's not being supported by many things. Hope that our friend killed that Cleveland. It is turning away from us, and that's going to make our job a hell of a lot more difficult. Almost impossible, really, now. Yep. I don't think we'll be able to do that. The secondary is opening up on the Jean Bart. Hopefully we can get just some fire here. I'm going to peel away to cover this island. I don't think it has any support, so if I just turn away from this Jean Bart, maybe get its aft deck open. I'm going to be using my repair here. I hope it's not looking at me. Nope, it's not looking at me. It has bigger fish to fry. Oh, hit the island. Not ideal. As long as I'm sailing past it here. Oh, it only has 2 front-mounted guns. Secondaries are opening up on me. It's not great for me. I wonder what is the range of these secondaries? 7.4 kilometers. They're still taking shots at me. Yep, got that fire, and that should take it off. Excellent. Yep, just getting your guns in the fight. Getting your guns engaged and answering. Oof. I got this torpedo coming at me. Don't know if I should go for the cap. I think I should go for the cap. Wow, its drop pattern is 3. I did not realize that. Alright, so we're going to go towards the first one, away from the second one. We're going to get our rudder to midships position. It's going to drop ahead of us. We're going to slam on the brakes. We're going to turn on the gas again now that it's committed. And we're going to go straight into the second one. This is how you dodge a carrier player that thinks that it's a good idea to drop torpedoes on. Oh, this one could hit us. We could dead it because we're under its arming distance time. And that was successfully handled. Now we can run away, get to A point. It looks like all the rest of our team is completely run away from us. The Shiryatsu was the closest, although we have to deal with the Hinseng and Akazuki. I can't fight 3 destroyers at once. Could try to get this Shiryatsu, but it's outside of our range. And here come the rockets. So the rockets could take us out. You might want to just get into this and drop smoke, just like we did before. And this will be our capture. I don't want to go toe-to-toe with an Enterprise rockets. It's like the top tier modern destroyer killer. But at least we can get A capture point for our team, and then we can start working on B. Hopefully work with this Jean Bart, see how he's doing. I'm sure he's not relishing taking out, dealing with 3 destroyers and a Scharnhorst. Destroyers would like to know your location. Yeah. Factors I consider when taking a shot on that. This is an excellent question. Mostly, it's experience, and it's the situation, and kind of a risk-reward assessment. A lot of times, if you're a destroyer especially, you'll want to distract larger target enemies and get their guns swiveling towards you, but you want to be in a place where you can either resist that damage or get behind cover in a way that's fast enough to waste their time, waste their swivel, to kind of engage. It's like evasion tanking, kind of in any other MMO. You want to get someone to give you attention that is useless, and then get behind cover, or make yourself an incredibly narrow target, or waste the time and brain space of battleships, or sometimes carriers. Alright, so we're going to be attacked by this, and I don't really have a good way to get ahead of it. I want to make myself as narrow as possible. Okay, so we avoided quite a bit of that. I put on my damage thing. So actually, avoiding air attack as a small boat was typified quite hilariously in Dunkirk, where you want to go at an angle towards the attacking plane and make them do a 50-50 bite on either you moving laterally to them, kind of in the x-axis, or go in on them in the y-axis. But you always want to be sailing towards the enemy airplane to reduce the amount of time that you're actually in front of that airplane. That's one of the key difficulties of a strafing pilot, is if something's coming at you, you have less time to line up your shot, you have to be more precise, and if you mess up, you want to retarget by putting your nose down, right? But what does putting your nose down do but give you less altitude as a pilot? So that's something you absolutely don't want. And you have to take each dodge one strafe at a time, right? So setting up strafing runs takes time and, most importantly, fuel. And in World War II, most of the fuel needs are used up, depending on your theater of operation, in getting to the target. So many times, fighter planes or just aircraft in World War II in general would only have about 35 seconds of active fuel over the target by which to attack. So when you think about that, 35 seconds of WEP or war engine power on your system, your gun system, is really not a lot of time, and you want to be very judicious about how you spend that time. Current speed. So what if you are a ship, you want to be perpendicular to the plane? Not exactly perpendicular. You want to be at an angle about 60 degrees going into the airplane, kind of like this. So if my airplane is at my reticle here, I want to be going at an ambiguous angle towards them. So if they bite early, I can swing out left and make their shots go in the water in front of me. If they bite on my lateral side, I can spin my rudder all the way right and make them miss over my port side. And as you saw in my engagement with that Enterprise Rocketeer, I made him, by cutting inside his strafing run, I made him shoot over where my plane would be if I had gone completely lateral or completely perpendicular. So that's one of the things, just in case you're ever in 1943 and you're being attacked by Japanese aircraft, you'll know what to do. But yeah, mostly fighting carriers as a DD is about wasting their time. If they're attacking you, which is a very tempting target, they're not attacking someone else. And I should get my head back in the game instead of talking about World War II engagement theory. But yeah, that's something I've always loved about, history, is you get to learn the story of different weapon systems and how they interact with each other, things they have in common, things they don't have in common. I'm not sure if this Alaska is going to start targeting me. I think he has bigger fish to fry with that Missouri right in front of him. But I do want to aim for his superstructure. You want to hit high on the boat in the part that's above the main hull, because it's more lightly armored, because they don't want to make their ship top heavy. And you can take advantage of that in this game, which is one of the things I love about this game. But yeah, most armor dispersion for... I think a lot about what I'd do if I was in 1943 and being targeted by planes. Yes, that's true. That's my entire plan for the evening. Oh, absolutely. I mean, it's a very important question to consider. I think it's the duty of every citizen to be prepared for war. If we ask Socrates, actually, I was about to say to Zeusver, one of my people that I follow has a great quote from Socrates that says that every citizen has no excuse not to be a fit citizen for the defense of his city. And what a shame it is for men to grow old without fully exploring the strength of what their bodies can do before it runs away from them, before time steals it. But yeah, what was I saying? Yeah, so if you watch Dunkirk, there is an example of BF 109 taking, I think it's a BF 109G. Well, G is kind of late. Might be a BF 109E. Making a run at a small civilian boat. And, he says his son is in the RAF and advised his father about what to do if you are under air attack, if you do find yourself under air attack. And during this time period, this is the heyday of the first revolution that aircraft would have in its, attacking structures for land and sea targets. And it was not well understood how effective an airplane can actually be. They figured it out pretty quick, but it took a very particular Mediterranean engagement against the Italian Navy. Oh, getting a little close there. Yukikaze? I don't know what that is. Might be a premium boat. Anyway, but yeah, it was, something you had to know about, something you had to find out for the first time arguably ever in the world is, this new weapon system. How do we deal with it? How do we fight it? What's appropriate? And, many people do believe that, going laterally. How satisfied were you with the battle? I think I did a great job. I had a lot of fun. Got victory. Got progress towards my things. Destroy 5 ships. Not sure what that's for. Daily missions. Dunkirk. I don't know if Dunkirk is active right now. Could be. They try to do whatever, I guess, events are appropriate for the time period that is happening in the year. It's one of my favorite things about the calendar. All right, we did pretty well. Definitely the best for our tier, considering we were mid-tier. Got some planes. Got some good XP. Detailed report. Yep, we really did it to that Jean Bart. Fire damage. Yeah, that's just like one of the benefits of destroyer gameplay is just stay safe and stay alive. Because destroyers are so much more valuable at the end of the match than the beginning. But because of their job description, their task, their mission statement is they have to be, one of the first in. We actually lost money on this, probably due to our liberal usage of all of our cooldowns, or all of our, what's it called? Modules. Our modules. Oh, looks like we got a bunch of free temporary stuff. I don't usually use the loaned tier 10s. I would rather container of Dunkirk collectible cards. Wow, cards. That's a new thing. See, there's so much that's new to this game every time I come back to it. I'm never sure what they're up to. Team Glory, I see, has some opportunities to get some premium boats. Could be very nice. Let's try that Kiev again. I wasn't happy about how that Kiev game worked out. I should have been more aware of my operational situation for operational strategy to go in again, but, the Kiev kind of plays like a bulldog. It's very, very aggressive. But the reason I take Repair Party instead of Smoke Generator is I want my Kiev to be very visible, distracting the enemy, and going at 45 kilometers per hour. I want my Kiev to be fast, on the flanks, always applying HE damage to large targets. Personally, I think I can take out most DDs as the Kiev fairly easily, as well as really harass some battleships. Yeah, I forgot what commander skill I was going for on the Ognivoy. Not sure. I mean, health. Health is always useful for destroyers, just in general. You're going to want to have some amount of health. And so often destroyer battles just come into like a DPS race with each other about who can, who entered the fight on higher health, who can output the most damage. Yeah, go fast, get wanted. Exactly. Like, that's the Kiev's motto, really. And see, this is a great starting area for it. We're already on the flank. We're already on the edge. I just want to go to that edge and spot enemy destroyers for my team. Got a Kagero, got a Mass, got a Moss, I guess. Got an Akazuki. These are going to be hard for us to spot. The Atlanta I am actually afraid of. Atlantas are dedicated DD killers, and I am the perfect target for it. But if I stay at range, then its arc of fire, its alpha, is really going to have some trouble. The Atlanta is an American cruiser, specifically designed to destroy Japanese destroyers. I believe it has radar, so it's very good at destroying destroyers because the radar eliminates the stealth that you have as a ship. And my ship is the Kiev, which is very Russian, very fast. I have my terrible Russian accent out right now. It's a front-facing 6-gun destroyer that is designed to destroy other destroyers and harass battleships at long range. This is kind of one of the philosophical or naval design doctrine advancements at the end of the war, where it's halfway between a destroyer and a cruiser, which means that it can be deployed alone, which is very useful for being able to operate independently of the fleet in open water. That's why it's large. It can work as a picket destroyer to kind of do some damage to enemy destroyers and cruisers. The reason you want a big destroyer is so that if it goes one-on-one heads up against another destroyer, it will win. There's also a lot to be said about aircraft in this time period really asking more of destroyers to get more surface area, more tonnage, so that it can fit more anti-aircraft guns onto it. But Russia was never really known for their anti-aircraft, not in the same way that America was. So it doesn't look like there's anyone out here. I'm going to swing in and just capture A. We do have that rocket plane next to us. Oh, we got this Vladistov. Yeah, I'm going to need my team to help me out on this. Looks like we got some fire incoming. You can see it there. Whoop. Shot's not quite aimed. This is not exactly where I want to be. I want to be shooting this Akazuki and getting out of here. Yeah, it's fast-firing guns. Guns are pretty hard hitting. I think they have just, a decent fire chance. Yep, here's the planes coming right overhead. Alright, looks like we're going to have to use everything. Akazuki has stopped, most likely doing smoke for itself. And bring my other guns around to bear. Oh, it's just trying to juke me. It's doing a pretty good job. No, props, hats off to the boat driver on the other side of the field. Yep, we got some blind hits in there. Always fun to see. Yep, and here we go. Ah, that was a very good hit. The Graf Zeppelin is really making my job a lot harder. Being forced to disengage. Alright, so no rockets for that. Alright, so we got 4 planes down. That's honestly pretty good for what we are. I'm gonna probably back off and heal. A is very hotly contested. Not sure. I'm gonna probably go max range and try to pick on these battleships. Oh, Akasugi came back up very briefly due to aircraft. One of the best things about aircraft, our Lexington is currently on the case. And it'll be hiding that smoke for the rest of the time. Yep, like I said, wasting the time of carriers. Let's pick on the Vladivostok first. It's lower health, and if we could get some fires on it, that'll really help us, help our teammate out. Alright, so we're kind of decorating its gun turrets, which have the highest armor of the boat. We're going to try to go for the back there, yep, and get some command structures. So this actually is a funny story that happened to the HMS Hood. Anim and I watched the sinking of the Bismarck is, oh wow, there is all of a sudden torpedoes. Yep, and they're trying to get me. We're gonna outrun them. We're gonna outrun them laterally, actually. I'll swing around. Yeah, we're fine. Sometimes, those sounds of the torpedoes in the water, that sonar blips, enter into my nightmares. All of a sudden, the stealth torpedoes of the Japanese destroyers. Anyway, yeah, but targeting the bridge, right? In World War II and pre-World War II, you see commanders and admirals being housed on that part right there at the bridge. The very top part that they can, it feels really good to be up there. You see everything. You got command of the entire world as it feels on the bridge of a battleship. I don't know if anyone's ever been aboard a battleship, but it can be quite the experience. I think I've been on a cruiser. It's the highest rating that I've been. Oh, and we saw a horrific noble sacrifice of one of the battleships taking down the other one. 2-for-1 trade. And this Graf Zeppelin is really all over me today. I do not want to be in this location. Graf Zeppelin is coming in at me. I'm going to make myself a narrow target. Looks like we avoided most of the damage, but our rudder did get hit. We feel like the Bismarck. We feel like the Bismarck with a broken rudder. Luckily, I have the commander skill that says that if one of my things gets damaged, it actually only goes to half. It goes to 50%. So these fighters here can't attack me, and I'm going to go into them and farm up some damage against aircraft. And then I'm going to try to capture A, like I've been trying to do all game. Looks like we're even. We're losing in points, though. Not very good. Queen Elizabeth showing up here, not targeting us, or actually might be targeting us, actually. Yep, if she decides to shoot at us. So the thing about kind of British battleships is they often have HE loaded. And for, oh, a mass. Our Lexington is in danger from, oh, this is going to be bad. We're going to have to use pretty much all of my abilities to rescue our carrier here. Doesn't seem to be targeting us. That's very good. We're going to get in real close. Now, if I was just shooting this mass as a duel, I would not be driving towards it. I would be driving away from it. But because we are here to rescue our carrier, we need to get as close as possible. And look at those torpedoes. Those will probably finish off the carrier. Trading a carrier for a DD at this stage of the game might be better, actually. Yeah, a lot of DDs kind of have that belief that their job is to take out the carrier, but a carrier's usefulness and effectiveness kind of can go down as the game drags on relative to a DD's. So we knocked out its gun. That's going to be very good for us. We're going to keep an eye on where it used to be. Alright, we're going to have to go in. We know it dropped all of its torpedoes, so kind of overkill actually against that carrier, probably. But we're going to spot it. We have torpedoes, he doesn't. And we have all of our guns, and I believe I knocked out his rear turret. So this is probably going to be good for us, and we're going to save our Shokaku. Oh. Well, I guess it's not moving as fast as I thought. There we go. Put all guns to work against that destroyer. But we lost A. And now we have to fight that Queen Elizabeth. Lexington is very extended. We could kind of support the Gneisenau, who's capturing C, but it doesn't look like we'll be able to capture C under torpedo attack from aircraft. Might be good to just try to capture B with our Gladramada. It's our destroyer friend from the Pan-Asian sector. I don't think we'll be able to get attacks off at the Queen Elizabeth, but Shokaku is trying its best. Yeah, good hit. Yeah, we're probably going to lose this one. All 3 points are captured by our enemies. Doesn't look like our team really had a lot of control over some of the points. The Queen Elizabeth is closest to us. With that being said, we might just engage this Queen Elizabeth. I don't necessarily want to, but considering the game is almost going to be over, and under such severe torpedo attack, he very well may have burned his repair party consumable on the floods that those torpedoes could have created. Oh. Dodged all of that. And I'll just give him something else to think about. Aircraft is going for a Shikaku. It's not great. I just want to fire. I just want to fire on the Queen Elizabeth. That's what I want. Just have to ask. Hey, RNG Jesus. Farming damage. I'm but a humble BB. So, I'm trying to set fires in different locations. Might shoot a little bit out ahead. There we go. That's a fire. So it's 7 seconds to the target. If you look at the 5 on the left, that'll be the 5-second denotation. Of course, you have to take into account angle, speed. This delineation is for a ship traveling at, I believe, 30 knots. So battleships are not traveling at 30 knots, almost ever, unless you're some very specific battleships. They're actually battle cruisers, more likely. Alright, so that's another fire. I mean, with our combined arms, we could probably try to take down this Queen Elizabeth. I'm gonna aim further up on the boat. Excellent. And we got the Akazuki giving us troubles. And our aircraft again. Ugh. Terrible. Alright, so this is gonna restrict our run for quite a while. I'm gonna reduce speed so that the torpedoes can pass. And I'm gonna increase it again. Wow. Terrible. Terrible, terrible, terrible. We might also want to give ourselves a speed boost just to make ourselves a more difficult target. Yep, and this is the current state of destroyer gameplay. If a carrier decides that you want to die, you are going to die. That is just the way it goes. Could probably save ourselves for a little bit more here. Make him waste another pass, but not a whole lot of hope for us. Especially if we're going to fight this Akatsuki. Alright. Now we're just kind of guessing at the location. Oh, we got a hit! Oh my gosh. Yeah, it's just us versus the world running down the clock, farming out damage. I'm gonna see if I can not die, because that'll be more expensive for me. But it's probably over from here. Can see if our friend spots the boat. Yep. Well, can't win them all. We did our best. We fought hard, fought all the way to the end, kept ourselves alive. That's our job as a DD. Got more progress on that Dunkirk. Destroy 5 ships, apparently. Got 1,500 free XP. Pass 3. Incapacitated, destroy 15 main battery mounts on enemy ships. That's, yeah. We did that to our mouse friend. Yep. Got up there. Our Nice Now outperformed us by doing that suicide move, potentially. I don't know, actually. I'm not sure if it was that. Turpus. Shikaku alive at the end. Yep. 11 planes destroyed. Just goes to show you the state of play in this, time period of the game is very carrier focused. We had 2 enemy carriers. Let's see what we get in our container here. We can purchase our containers. We can open these containers. Oh. We got a little collection here. And truck. I always found it's a really interesting part of military historian fans that they enjoy like logistics vehicles or like the trucks. It kind of always reminded me of like the people that are really into trains. So we were unsuccessful at winning in this Kiev. There could be some reasons for that. I could try a little harder to buff up my boat with some of these signal flags. The normal ones of maximum speed, very useful for the Kiev. not having detonations, always good. I have 525 of these. I just really need to get through them. I don't know if I'll be playing 525 games in my life. This one increases fire. That's very good. And flooding. Useful for DDs. I only use these on DDs because I very rarely have the chance to flood in any other style of ship. This is a lot of flooding. I saved these for the Japanese ones, or more torpedo-focused ones. It's like chess. It can move in any direction. Yeah, the carrier. The carrier is a very strong piece. It can move in any direction. It is the queen. A big, huge, lumbering, slow queen. Not all of them are slow, actually. Some of the carriers are quite fast. Some of the Japanese carriers especially. And this one will just give me a little more fire chance. I just like fire chance. It's just like my play style is... I really appreciate HE. I do really well with HE focused boats like the Japanese ones. Japanese HE is very good. I think Germany does more armor piercing, but yep. And then I'm just, for these, I always just pick the one I have the most of, and then I use that because these are all economic benefits. Very, very nice. And these ones are really, really exotic and special. I don't know. I guess we could use one of these. What do I need for this guy? Oh yeah, this is my one that's... He just barely got concealment expert. He has nothing left. I'm not sure if I want to give him expert marksman. There are, you know, some definite uses for expert marksman just because, you know, a few times 18 second for 180 turn time. That's a very good candidate for increasing your turret rudder shift time. How many of those flags do you need? I've been accumulating them for 3 years and I don't use them. Like, it's, you know, the BFG ammo syndrome for, or like the fat boy for Fallout, where you just don't want to use any of the valuable things because, like, what if I need that later? And the answer is you need it now. You always need it now. It's for now. You know, it's always presently helping you, but you know, kind of have this psychological phenomenon of needing to use it sometime later. And to be fair, in certain like special activities for 4th of July or Christmas or like special in-game events, you can, you know, use those on every single match and every single turn, and, you know, get up, you know, thousands of XP, thousands of gold, you know, for certain missions that are like, earn this much credits, earn this much gold, earn this much XP. You know, that's fine, that's fair to do, but it's not necessarily worth saving, you know, 400 of the same flag. Yeah, that's... I'm gonna switch. I don't want to do this. I want to go on the outside of this island. I want to be on the edge. Tab for personal order. I don't care. I just need to get my rudder all the way over. Yep. Kind of lay over into that hard port turn. So this is a storm, a squall, I guess you could say. I think they're called squalls when they're very brief, ocean-based storms that obscure the vision. Squalls actually have a very important place in naval history, saving certain boats during World War II, especially in like Battle of Leyte Gulf. And I think in Midway, I think it saved the Hornet for a while, or at least it saved the USS Enterprise and made Japanese torpedo attack redirect to, I think, the USS Hornet. You know, it's just sometimes you get lucky. You know, using nature is one of the oldest forms of the art of warfare. And in ocean combat, that means squalls. I spotted a plane, or spotted a boat, the Yamato. I'm not going to fire at it right now. I don't want to give away my position this early. I want to capture B or D. I want to use this island to contest that, and I want to kind of establish dominance over D. Mostly because in this map, we start with B, they start with C, and it's really just a fight over 2 areas. So in order to do that, I'm going to get myself in a good position, get a central facing escape. I can go to that island if I need to, if I get in trouble. I'm going to face all my guns towards this. I'm just going to go back and forth, like a beginning level student driver who's just trying to learn to parallel park. Just going to go back and forth. Up. And this is what I don't want. I don't want these airplanes to have a good shot at me. I'm going to try to go under them. Oh, wow. And nothing! They completely missed. However, they're going to be coming around. Oh, they're going to be coming around. Alright, this is bad. Oh, yep, I got some good hits there. Sure did. Oh, and we've exposed ourselves to fire. This is bad. It's too undercut on this Benson. See, this is the true strength of airplanes. Is it's not necessarily that they do a lot of damage. It's that they distract you so that other people can do a lot of damage. I'm going to fill this straight with torpedoes. And we're getting fired on from smoke over here. Could very easily kill us. This ship, and we missed. We are detected by radar. It's pretty bad. And here come more planes. Yep. Alright. That is it. Airplanes. Airplanes kill destroyers. So much in this game. There's very little you can do to stop it. Oh yeah, firing gives away your position. Absolutely. Yes, that is key difference. Well, okay. We can take our Anshan out. It's a very interesting boat. I got it very luckily from a crate that I opened on Christmas. It's a tier 6 Pan-Asian destroyer. A lot kind of like the Ognivoy. It's a kind of a jack-of-all-trades situation. Really worth the money, in my opinion. Alright, let's look at what we got here. We're going up against a T-22, arguably the worst boat in the game. The low point of the German destroyer line. A Hatsuharu. It's pretty good Japanese, like middle of the road. Oh wow, they added this. A comparison thing. That's cool. And the Podvoski. I'm not sure what that is. Might be a premium destroyer for the Russian branch. So this map usually has a lot of fighting around here. We can go in the middle to spot some battleships. I'm not sure if that would kind of help us or hurt us. Usually the battleships, yeah, let's do that actually. We could fill this whole thing with torpedoes, but like usually destroyers are here and cruisers. Cruisers really love killing destroyers in this area exactly. A destroyer's best friend is stealth, and kind of what aids stealth is appearing in places that are not traditional, in places that people don't expect you. I could duck into this area right here, kind of work with this rock, the lion's rock, because it looks like a lion roaring. It's pretty good. You can get a lot of really interesting shots through the mouth of the line. Looks pretty cool. But I'd like to spot our enemies first, especially considering we have... Oh my gosh, I don't care about missions. Like, when I push this button, I always want to know about my enemy. Thank you. We have quite a lot of destroyers here, one of which is the Mahan, the Tier 7 American destroyer that is a gunboat. It's focused on killing other destroyers, and it is quite good at that job. Yep, see, we have an Atlanta going for that. Atlantas are dedicated DD killers. Oh, and here's the Mahan. Oh no. We are in a bad position, but we've discovered them before they discovered us. They're turning away. We're turning away. We might not be spotted here. It's turning towards us. It wants to kill us. We're going to try to kill it. If I hit the island here, I'm just going to pop smoke. Nope. Alright, we got the first shot. It's a good sign. And then it opened up with everything. And the arc of fire is leading to some misses. Has not hit us. Yep, and if we just keep wiggling like this and throwing off his aim, I think we can duel him. This is actually what I like the most about this game. It's these little destroyer duels. Oh, he's overshooting us. That means that he's bracketed us. Yeah, and we are hitting him, and he is... Well, he did hit us once, and it knocked out our turret. How terrible. What terrible luck. Oh, but we are... Yeah, we came off better in that engagement. Of course, it's almost over now as we're both running away from each other. We're going to keep putting shells in that area. Just keep them guessing. Yeah, so that was a good engagement. That's textbook, DD on DD engagement. Discover your enemy first. Start maneuvering in a favorable position to them. Reorient your guns, which is why having gun turret rotation is so good for DD on DD fights, these knife fights. As you can see, the Anshan's guns turn horrifically slow, and I desperately need to get the turning upgrade for them. Having this Mahan in the middle is bad for me, because while I got lucky in that engagement, there's no guarantee I'll get lucky in the next engagement. But I do just like to spot these battleships out here. Give our Bayern some targets to strike at. And if I get lucky, and if it comes all the way to the middle, I'll be able to line up a torpedo strike on it. 8 kilometers, 60 torpedo speed. They're pretty good torpedoes. What you're really looking for is good reload time, good torpedo speed, good torpedo range. Of course, they don't always give you all of those in order. But this one's pretty good. It's relatively fast torpedoes, but not that high range. Partially because the guns on my Anshan are so good. If we can just get out in front of this Ismail and correctly predict the direction that they're going to turn. Oh, actually, never mind. Time to fight the Mahan again. Yep, that's what o'clock it is. It's always the same o'clock. Fight the Mahan o'clock. Oh, that was terrible. Not lead fast enough. Not lead far enough at all. This Mahan is very fast. Oh, got incapacitation here. We're going to be turning away. I'm doing the same thing, just increasing that distance, wiggling, getting ourselves in a position where we're more mobile than they are, and we're increasing the distance between us. A lot of, enemy boat drivers or boat captains, they just zoom in on the target and they stop maneuvering. They want to maintain a stable firing platform so much that they make themselves an easy target. That's not always what you want to do as a destroyer, because you have the lowest health of any class of boat in the game. You really don't need to be an easier target for people to hit. As you can see, we've engaged twice with that Mahan. He's at 3,700 health, and we're still at 12,000. That's what you want. You want to get those advantageous trades. We set that fire on the Ismail. If he's a smart BB captain, he'll just let it burn. But, you know, for one fire is almost never worth the reload on a battleship. The battleship's repair control party. Yep. This is an interesting decision point. Oh, torpedoes. Wow. Yep, that's why he was doing. Clever girl. He almost got me. It was almost a very, very sad water panda. Very wet panda. Yep. Number one thing in the Navy is you don't want to sink. You want to keep your boat dry and alive. Oh, here we go. Should be on target. You know, kind of. Could afford to lead a little bit more. Alright, so we set that fire. Izumal is coming into this side of it. This Haruna is not paying us any attention, so I'm going to go... I'm going to turn on my engine boost. I'm going to kill this Izumal. We're going to do it. We're going to do it because he's turning away. We're going to do it because we can catch up to him. This is actually going to be a safer torpedo run than I initially imagined in the first place. Because we're going to get away and we're not going to expose ourselves to that secondary fire. And we can see that those torpedoes are absolutely going to hit this battleship because he's committed to coming in between this thing, knowing that there's a destroyer here. That's not a very good idea, mostly because destroyers love nothing more than to harvest huge amounts of HP damage against battleships that are within 5 kilometers to them. It's one of our favorite things to do, in fact. I made, early in this game, back when they had torpedoes that were routinely under 6 kilometers, but incredibly fast on the American line. They still do have them, but at lower tiers, suicide killing battleships was the call of DD players. They would love doing that. They would climb over themselves, desperate to do it. And this Haruna might be doing the exact same thing. I'm actually gonna go on the outside of this Haruna and try to target it again, just because they haven't learned their lesson. Oh, actually, never mind. We're gonna kill this Hachar. It's more important and more desperate. We're gonna need to protect. Yep, here we go. Blasting away at it. So we are damaged from our previous fighting. This Hatsuhara has yet to be touched. We can't miss short like that. Second one going in. Got a fire. It's not... Yep, there he goes. Puts out the fire. It's coming towards us. So that's one of the things when you're fighting other DDs that you don't want to do. If you are in this knife fighting situation, DD on DD, if you're going towards the enemy, the shell time, the velocity, going towards your ship versus their ship is much, much shorter if you're pointing at them, if you're driving at them. So you want to be in a position where you're going away from them and they're either overshooting you or undershooting you. And as you can see, we already fought this poor ship into death because he, maybe a least experienced. All right, so we're 6 kilometers out. We are past our stealth range. I want that stealth. The Mahan is still alive, and I would love to kill him. But if I do, this Haruna could open up with me on secondaries, and I don't have a lot of health left. So I can't do that. I might want to use the smoke of our friend. Also, this Haruna is focusing me down. Very, very interested in killing me. And by doing that, oh, there he goes. So you can see his turrets are turning away. That means that he's committing to engaging the Texas. He's going to turn towards me, potentially keep both of us in line, and he's starting to cap the point. So I'm going to cut him off. You see the points of our lines. He's also aiming way up in the sky for some reason. The points of our lines are intersecting. That means that if we continue on this course, we're going to intersect each other. He's noticing this, giving me the proper time and attention that I deserve, and I'm going to go straight at him to narrow my angle. We're taking a lot of fire from that smoke. That's really bad. Might not be able to... Ah, man. The Mahan snuck up on us. Ah. Should have just tried the torps. I wasn't in the good firing position, but still, killed 2 people. One of them was a battleship. And our cap is being capped, so we're just going to go ahead and ping that. Oh, we can't ping after we're dead. Forgot. Yep, most kills on our team. We'll see how we do. Oh yeah, Anna says that the artwork is very beautiful. Yeah, naval art, after World War II especially, became this whole, like, expansive form within itself of, like, World War II veterans that came home and just learned how to paint, you know, partially as therapy, but they're really beautiful. And I love, you know, airplanes and naval ships, like anything that incorporates a high degree of technology and engineering. So, so now that we're not playing the Anshan anymore, we could play my other tier 6 that I got as a lucky drop from premium tier 6, the Aigle. Aigle, I think, is French for eagle. It's like the Kiev, one of the destroyers that's pretending to be a cruiser, you could say. It's part of, you know, that fleet ship design. Actually, let's see if we can get a description from the game about it. Yeah. Lead ship in a series of large destroyers. The Contrepeliers, typical type of ship in the French Navy designed specifically to hunt down enemy destroyers. The ship is large enough in size and has a high enough speed. She was on par with contemporary destroyers by the strength of her torpedo armament, yet considerably outclassed them in terms of artillery power, owing to her 5 139mm guns. So this ship is barely a destroyer. It wants to be a cruiser so bad, and you could tell that because its detectability by sea is 7.5 kilometers. For reference, like the Icarus's detectability by sea is 6.6. So people are going to see you coming, and that means that you have to use islands in order to disguise yourself. To help with that, the arc of these guns is massive. You can do, you know, essentially American cruiser techniques, which is hide behind an island, lob shells forever away from you for targets that are being spotted by other people, and take them down that way. That being said, it does require you to have other people spotting, other destroyers. It means that because you're a destroyer pretending to be a cruiser, the team doesn't have as many destroyers, and that can hurt your ability to control points, capture points. It can hurt your ability to have, you know, friendly smoke on the field to disguise your battleships. It can help your ability to do a great deal of things that are kind of like meta gameplay ideas that the designers historically of World War II were not considering when they were making ships to fight Nazi Germany. They didn't really see how that would affect the meta in 2019 for a naval video game. I'm not sure, you know. We could ask them. So this Kamikaze R over here, he's going to be... Oh, beautiful paint job on the Kamikaze R. This is a premium boat. It's one that I've considered purchasing. If I was more of a pay-to-play person, I would pick that up. But I'm too mercenary. And that's... You know, that owes to my philosophy of gaming. But yes, hopefully we'll get this Kamikaze R to investigate and capture C for us while we kind of hang out behind these islands here. Or we could do the Kiev strategy and kind of be way out on the flank harassing everybody. But we're not as fast as the Kiev, and we have a much bigger profile than the Kiev does. We're also much wider, much thicker as a boat. You know, the days of the old cigar boats, or the old... not cigar boats. What are they called? The World War I penny destroyers that are hyper narrow, but not very seaworthy, and also did not have a lot of space on their deck to fit guns on are kind of over. But that used to be the design philosophy. A design philosophy I really liked and enjoyed from World War One, which is having ships that have the deck hull like just flush with the ocean, and super narrow profiles and really low to the ground. The philosophy being, if there's less of you in the first place, there's less of you to hit, for the enemy to hit, and also to see when they're scouting for you. And those Age of Picket Destroyers were very difficult to use in adverse weather conditions, and kind of went the way of the dinosaur. This Nicholas is coming out here. I don't know if I should go all the way out to kill that Nicholas and deny it avenue of egress or an escape from the Kamikaze R and the pressure from the Kirov and the Congo behind us, or if I'm going to get deleted by the Scharnhorst while trying to kill this Nicholas. But we'll see. Stay tuned. Our next episode of Dragon Ball Naval Doctrine and Strategy. So this Scharnhorst doesn't see me, but does see the Omaha behind me, and might shoot at the Omaha and miss me. Or sorry, at the Omaha, miss it and hit me. So I don't really like that. I also don't like being within a few degrees rotation of a battleship. That being said, it is affording us the potential for shots in here. And if I get in between this island and the Scharnhorst, I might be able to make that worth it. Of course, engaging 2 destroyers with 1 destroyer, no matter how strong that destroyer is not the best idea. Yep, I don't want to fire because with the Scharnhorst secondaries, all the German battleship secondaries are usually pretty good against destroyers. That's kind of their unique niche. Now that we're behind this island, I think we're safe to do some of this. Of course, if he doesn't know I'm here, which he doesn't, I can jump out and torpedo. Oh, no, I've been detected. Been detected by someone. Who was I detected by? This Furutaka wants to kill me. Yep, that's a Japanese cruiser. Cruisers' jobs are to kill destroyers, and it really wants to do that. So I'm safe. Scharnhorst is still coming around, flipping into reverse. I'm going to put my guns on the other side of the boat. Again, a destroyer with bad turret traverse. Not as bad as the other one, but still pretty bad. And, it makes up for that by having all of those guns, and having those guns have pretty good reload. I'm just going to fill this area with torpedoes, and we're going to see if something good happens. I'm not sure if it will, but it might. The Scharnhorst. We're just going to see. Put 1 there, and 1 early. And I'm detected. Oh, we lost 1. Lost 1 already. What? Yep. Here's our friend, the Nicholas. I didn't get it around in time. Well, at least we can harass this battleship. When in doubt, harass the battleships. They don't like it, and it makes it feel good. It's an easy way to farm damage. I want to try to kill that Nicholas. I might go around again. Not sure how wise that's going to be for us to stay in front of various battleships. But I think opening this flank as a friendly avenue of attack is going to be valuable. Oh, the Nicholas is dead. Never mind. See how quickly plans change. There we go. At this New Mexico on our sides. Again, just trying to set fires, Not really trying to do a huge amount of damage, but the more AA guns that we can knock out on the deck just by having any HE shell hit it, the more superstructure we could damage, the better. The weaker that boat will be, and the more strong we'll be as a result. This Snoop is getting very close to my torpedo range. I want to do that. This is not a torpedo boat, This 8 kilometers out, torpedoes, 57 knots, 3 knots slower than our Anshan last time. But, we kind of need to assist our Colorado. Our duty to the team is to stick together, put out as much damage as we can. And right now that looks like giving a torpedo run against the Sinop. And we can do it. There's no reason we can't or we shouldn't be able to. Doesn't seem to be going very far out into the world, though. I'm just going to try to wait and see if it reverses course. It seems to be just freezing itself. Yep. It's putting up that airplane spotter. Okay. We're going to have to do something dangerous. Actually, we don't have to, but we are detected. Sinop is going backwards. I don't know any of these new boats. Haida, I've never heard that before. So as you can see, it's moving very erratically and it's very far away. So we're just kind of putting our shells where the boat is likely to steer into and kind of bracketing them if they're not committing to a stable course. Oh, that was horrible. Is that a citadel? May have been a very bad citadel. 5 kilometers now for this Sinop. Really want to get a torpedo attack on against it. Really do. Really, really, really do. I want to get close. I want to get as close as I can to this island. Wait till the very last second so I have good targeting. Give myself that boost, that engine boost. And then really kind of eliminate its ability to turn either away from me or into me and then jump into smoke. Yep, this is pretty close. It's going to turn towards me, so we're going to send another one right here. Yep, there we go, and there we go. Alright, so that is sometimes how you can trade part of your life as a destroyer for damage. Now, I want to kill that Haida more than I want anything else in this world right now. The New Mexico is closest, and I'm going to try to set it on fire. There are some torpedoes. I don't know where they're coming from. My smoke has 55 seconds left. I want to pull that full of damage. Aiming again high on the superstructure here. 14 seconds for my torpedoes. That means I'm going to get another torpedo in the middle of smoke. It's wasting its time. Alright. So I send my strategy for torpedo play is a little bit in front and a little bit behind. That means that if they have an idea about how to dodge these torpedoes, he was going very, very slow. Well, maybe we'll catch him with 2, maybe 3 if we're lucky. 2. Okay. We're taking a lot of punishment for our audacity to do all this. That is the entire enemy team right behind us. And we're done. Okay. Well, 5 torpedo hits is just about all we can expect out of our destroyers. All right. Let's see if we got some victories. Doesn't look like we're going to win this one. We're down 2 boats, but that New Mexico is really injured. All right. Wow, we lost the Anshan battle. Rough. Second highest on the team though. Second only to the Lion. Disappointing, but you know, we tried our best, and that's all a DD can really do is fight their little hearts out. You know, they're the smallest boat out there. They're just trying their best, trying to get what they can get. 7,000 on the Mahan, almost completely killed the Hatsaru. I mean, I think did completely kill the Hatsaru. And then all that 34,000 damage of torpedoes to the Ismail. Yeah, I mean, we gotta teach these battleship drivers about what it means to get away from destroyers. You know, yeah, if we don't teach them, who's gonna teach them, right? Let's try it again with the Anshan. I love the Anshan, and also the Anshan comes with free camouflage, which is great for me. We can afford to put some flags on it. I think we can. Yeah. So, in case you haven't seen all the camouflage, there is quite a lot of camouflage in the game. You know, different varieties. Some people like others more than others. These are all usually from events. You know, they're pretty generous with their camouflage. This is why I like it more than World of Tanks, is because they really do kind of go out of their way to make you feel, you know, wealthy and enfranchised with the resource system that they have, as long as you're just a normal, like, active player. You know, if you jump in on the events and you really kind of check in with them and kind of stay relevant, stay current, they go out of their way to make it, you know, fun for you. And I really like that. Of course, I enjoy collecting all of the special ships. I'm trying to get special camouflage for the Bismarck right now, actually. That's my goal. This one's really pretty. The Chinese New Year. Yep, and that's, you know, it's pretty much... This one's also really pretty, the victory one for this event, the Russian event. Alright, so let's make ourselves faster. DDs, they need to be faster. Everyone needs to be faster, but DDs especially. And reload, kind of. I don't really like having this one, so I have 413 of them. But, you know, it's whatever. And then fire chance. Flooding, we can do. The Anshan isn't really a torpedo boat as much as it's just a jack of all trades, kind of a gunboat, actually, mostly. It's more gunboat-ish. But let's do this one, just because I need to get through them. And so the downsides of this is that your magazine detonates easily. But that's completely negated by this flag, which you can run at the same time. So totally worth it. More AA, not an AA boat. I don't really want to do that. What do I have the most of? I have the most of this. I'm going to do this. Let's see what my commander skills are like. So I do have the expert marksman on this one. I am able to traverse my guns faster, but they're still incredibly slow. I got the damage and, of course, the requisite concealment expert, useful for cruisers and destroyers, but especially destroyers. I think my next goal should be Adrenaline Rush, just because any increase to reload speed, especially for 2, is so valuable. And if I was go 3-point, I might get Survivability Expert just for the extra health. It's always useful for a destroyer because they're the most fragile ships in the game. And you have to be very, very careful with them. It's one of the reasons I love them the most, is they're the definition of glass cannons. They're so fun to, I guess, like, they're high risk, high reward. You know, they're really, you know, as you could see in the last 2 things, like, we were able to wholly delete battleships, you know, with just a torpedo strike, and putting myself in that position and, you know, kind of doing the torpedo gameplay was the thing that made me really like this game in the first place. It was very, very good. Oh, Zeus, are the levels okay for the game itself? Are you able to hear the game, or should I turn it up? Carbon speed dating. Real world always messes with the game's leveling system. Yeah, exactly. If only we could get all the ordnance officers of every global military around the world and ask them to make sure their tiers are balanced. Alright, so this map, I like going all the way to the left, kind of working the flanks, and really owning this island in particular. Going to be very important to us. Start off in a storm again. Hopefully that storm will clear. I don't know if this is actually a squall or if it's just a weather pattern that's available in the middle of the... So far the audio on the game is quiet. Now I can hear the game. Okay. Because usually I play this game while listening to other things. So my general volume is like... Let's do that. Because we are dealing with like ship-to-ship naval weaponry. This can get very loud, especially if I play battleships. But all right, so we're just approaching the calm before the storm. We're looking for enemies right here off this island and right here off of this island. When that happens, we can either do like a bracketing thing for our torpedoes, which is actually how they're used in World War II to just control the movement of enemy ships, because it was, you know, incredibly risky to treat it like a video game and, you know, go close enough to guarantee hits, unless you're, you know, very particular engagements in, I believe it was Leyte Gulf, and for the Japanese, or some Indonesian engagement, which featured a lot of Japanese destroyers launching torpedo attacks at night. Yeah, American historians, like, it's not focused on a lot in American, you know, history, like on the History Channel or something, because it was so horrible. We could engage this Pensacola. He's under a lot of fire from everyone else, but I'd rather engage this Nicholas. All right. So, pulling away. So is the Nicholas. Should aim a little up. Dropping smoke. Clearly panicked. So we still have all of our resources while he's burning resources. And we're doing a lot of damage when we haven't taken a lot of damage. So putting the enemy under that psychological strain of being suddenly under fire from something they did not see, especially when we get good first hits off, automatically puts them on the back foot and encourages this kind of, you know, retreating behavior that essentially turns it into a turkey shoot for us. You know, this is you know, a test of our marksmanship more than it is his ability to, you know, maneuver or deal with the situation as it is. I think he had parts of his engine knocked out. Not sure. Our friend is being engaged by two different rocket planes. That's not great. We want to be turning away, but still keeping our guns on our target for the Nicholas. So if you look at the rudder that I'm doing, it's just very gradual micro movements to throw off, you know, anyone that's aiming at me, so that I am moving slightly, but not too much that it interferes with my targeting. There we go. So that's how we get an early lead. Of course, we did lose one of our destroyers in the process, but, you know, what can you do? So we have Pensacola. We have a Praetor Velki. So that's a battleship I want to kill, and a Pensacola that wants to kill me. The Pensacola, I think, might not have radar that early in the American tree, but we're very slowed down from spending so much time on the border. We're just going to let our speed recover, now that the game knows that I'm not being a cheap bastard by riding the border. Yeah, and I'm not sure. I mean, we could pressure just this flank in general. Wait till the Pensacola is distracted, shoot it, escape. Kind of keep it on the edge. Play a little Kiev with it. I play almost all of my destroyers as if they're gunships pretending to be something else. I think that's a good way to always remember you have guns in every ship. Always remember that you do have guns. You can use them. You can use them to distract. You can use them to engage different distances. You can use them to set fires. Even the Japanese destroyers, who have arguably the worst guns, they can find a lot of play with their fire setting ability. And they're annoying. They get the enemy to think about something else. It takes focus off of your other things. This Budinoi is going to be very bad for us. I do not like to see it arrive on this flank. It is very bad for me personally because the Budinoi has very fast firing, I think 9, like 127 millimeter guns that are very, very quick. And they can put up a huge volume of fire against lightly armored targets, and they're usually running HE to set fires, and HE is the thing that destroyers hate the most. Hate happening to them the most. And now we're getting some attention from our carriers. That's not good. I need to look at my ranges again. Detectability by air, 2.6. My AA guns firing range is 3.5, so I can shoot before I'm spotted. I don't like that, so I'm going to press P, the key letter P, to turn off my anti-aircraft guns, and to allow myself to remain unspotted for longer. Spudinoi is still not attracted to any damage. It's not great. We could probably get this Ranger, actually, or at least keep the Ranger spotted for our team. I want to stay outside of 6.3 kilometers. You can see that hashed line on the outside. Setting the deck on fire of... Oh, wow. They're having some trouble. This Ranger is collided with the Budinovoy. Budioni? Budioni. Yep, it is. Just repaired something. Alright, I think we're going to open up at this point. We might kill this first. No, we're going to kill the Ranger. I don't like aircraft carriers more than I don't like battleships. And it'll force the entire team to deal with us and dress us. It's 2 Citadels. Citadeling a carrier with HE is just shameful. It just really shows how lightly armored some of these aircraft carriers can be at this time period. They're not designed to be anywhere close enough to get shot, which is, again, one of the things about the game, gamifying history, is that, this game company tries really hard to make its models accurate to history, and we all really enjoy that, but it just doesn't work for some of the situations that they end up in. Alright. Pensacola really wants to be dead, but has terrible aim. And I'm going very fast away from it in an oblique angle. And now I'm back to my normal detectability. Now, no one knows... Well, they know I'm here, but they can't see me. Yeah, so Zeusver says, "Oh, good Thunder audio," and yes, I agree. The sound design in this game and the art for the models is really beautiful. You can hear the thrum of the engines, the water. It's very pretty, and I don't know if these are on max graphics settings. I don't think they are. I could annoy this Pensacola more, just get it to turn around again, stop whatever it's doing and look at me. But I might value my stealth a little more to launch some torpedo attacks on this Queen Elizabeth. Although, even getting that close to the Texas and the Budioni is going to be more dangerous than just staying outside of everyone's range and just shooting them. They're kind of creating a murder ball. You know, they're like a bait fish. They're coming together. Oh, and I might just get detected by this ranger's AA. Or this ranger's fighter cover that he launched after he died. Okay. Time to turn on our anti-aircraft, what little anti-aircraft we have. Alright, let's target the Queen Elizabeth. As 1600, Texas is taking shots at us. Let's turn away from that. Don't want that to happen to us. Got that fire. Love it. Just gonna keep feeding those fires. 1500 for the Pensacola. I might switch to the Pensacola. I want the Pensacola because it's at approximately the same health, but has a much higher potential to kill us. Alright, let's get on the other side of the ship. Oh, that's Queen Elizabeth is having a very bad day. Alright, so now the Queen Elizabeth is at health that's low enough to warrant our focus.
Our team has
so slow. Thank you, Mitsuki, giving me friendly smoke. So now I can stay inside the smoke and just open up on all of these people. Out of range from the Pensacola. In range, the Budioni. I'm going to focus on that. 7.5 seconds to my target. You can see my 7-second thing is pretty much on the bow of that ship. Because of the angle he's going away from us at, it's a little bit more. We are getting the hits. That's what we want. Yep. We're just going to accelerate. Oh, nope. We're going to focus this Shinome. Hopefully we're just staying inside our smoke. Never a dull moment in the destroyer. You always have to be the most flexible, reactive player on the field. Oh, and we're going to miss that shot. That was a terrible shot. But we're going to hopefully get some of the other ones. Oh, the Shinome is correctly dodging us. Oh, didn't dodge all of us. Come on. Just hit it. Hit it. It's 436 health. Ah, and it just escaped us. Oh, no. Oh, that was terrible. A few missed shots. This Texas is going very, very close to us, and I don't think we can get away from the Texas as much as we should go directly towards the Texas and shoot it.
Fire alarm.
Texas notices. Of course, it's looking straight at us. I'm going to aim where it's going. Oh, and it did miss.
Critical engine damage.
Alright, we're going to boost ourselves.
Smoke generator started.
We're going to get ourselves some cover. And it's turning towards us. Up. Ah, rough. Yep, and I was able to dodge that torpedo salvo, and it's turning directly into this one. Oh, wow. Well, I got played. Texas has played me well. Yeah, I think it was that Pensacola that we never really dealt with the Pensacola and the Budioni. They both eat up destroyers for breakfast. Probably should have ran away. If I could have. Or used my smoke to cover my retreat. Oh yeah. This is a high pressure situation for sure. Eaglet. Oh, the Eaglet didn't win either. Wow. Defeat, 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 defeat. What is going on? What is happening to us? Yeah, I mean, we're up there. We're just not getting the victories. Yeah, 45,000 damage to this one up. 5 torpedo hits. Mm-hmm. Because an XP, it's a healthy amount. Oh well. I guess we're running into a bit of a down period for our victory conditions. We seem to be, approaching the tops of the leaderboards anyway, but, not really getting it all the way. Like in that last match, a few better place shots, we could have killed the Shinome. A few, last decisions about being aware that we had 2 cruisers targeting us. Could probably have survived a little bit longer, potentially done a little more damage. And, even within 3 kilometers on a battleship that knows you're approaching them and is, gonna turn into you, you could still end up with torpedo spreads like that, where it just goes right through your 3rd set. But, of course, that all depends on the time limit that's put on you by the situation you're in. By having those 2 cruisers targeting me, I felt the pressure to get the torpedoes out before I died and to get into smoke, which is a whole process. And so we have the same map, we're just on the other side of it this time, and I want to go right here to this island, and I want to sit behind it, and I want to shoot at destroyers, people who were doing what I was doing last game, which is, going up here, spreading out into the ocean at an oblique angle, trying to kill anyone on this side, and I want to kill those destroyers and then free up A for my team to take. I want to enlist the Minikaze in this effort to potentially stealth capture A if the camouflage is good enough on the Minikaze, and the York to back us up with the Congo, the fast battleship Congo. That's really more of a battle cruiser, but Japan doesn't have the battle cruiser designation that I know about. Or at least they still classified it as a battleship due to the Washington Naval Treaty. And we're getting aircraft already. Yeah, the Washington Naval Treaty of 1919 is a subject I've been studying quite a lot recently, mostly to see if it was, created by people that genuinely wanted peace, but, cynically, the military, whose job is to, still be able to defend the country, no matter what, they built their ships in such a way that they could easily get around the Washington Naval Treaty if war started to crop up, which it absolutely did after the 1920s, with the Great Depression looming and everyone, suddenly being horrifically poor. And we find ourselves under attack again. Hitler strikes again. Thank you, Hitler. Alright, we're taking some damage here. I don't want to be targeted by the Graf Spee a lot. And, of course. So we have kind of an overload on this side. 2 destroyers. Now that we're in smoke, we can start opening up on the targets that we have available to us. And our friend died in front of us. Very traumatic. This can be very bad for us. We need to get out of here. Our Congo and our York have not helped us out in this regard. To put our boost on. So the other thing about the Aigle is it's very fast, especially for its size. It can beat a hasty retreat if we need it to, which we absolutely do. Graf Spee, I might switch to AP here, just to see how it does, because it's giving me some broadside. Non-penetration, too low caliber. over penetration and a penetration. Yeah, but see, he's angling towards me. And we're finding ourselves under fire from the Icarus as well. Icarus is a more pressing target for me, mostly because it'll die faster. And the Oathnock. This is a great boat. You can see all of its guns are on the back. It's an experimental Russian design, and it's one of my favorite things in the world. It's just like, where do we have a lot of space on a boat? I don't know, just make the back really long. Yeah? And then put like 8 guns on it, on the back. You know, just because that's what you want. You want 8 guns on a destroyer. Oh, that was also an embarrassing showing for us. I mean, we did the best we could. We got our damage back in health. We did 17,838 damage for the trade of our health, but it was really kind of over when we had our really ambitious friend pop out and immediately get deleted. Card switching. The Hitler strikes again. Thank you, Hitler. That is a quote from Donkey for a very old video from League of Legends that I really enjoy, called Climbing Out of Bronze, I think. Alright, so we're going to get this container. We're going to see what we get. Hopefully it's going to be a lot of coal. Oh, flags. Yep, lots of flags. Got fairy swordfish. I love the British get to name their stuff fairies because it's part of their like actual cultural history. Alright, coal. We could do just some like management stuff, but I don't know, I kind of want to just get into more battles. I want to see what we get as far as armory. How much coal do we have? And how much coal do we need? And what's the best coal to get? Because I want to get... Oh. Second set of items. Okay. Alright. Victory stuff. Gold, gold, gold. Special resources. Don't know if I have any of those. I have 12. Okay. Some money. Some flags. It's fair. Allowance tokens. I have 56 of those. These are really interesting. You can get like unique looks for people. I see it kind of as whale fishing a little bit because, you know, the only people in a position to get that much resources could either purchase it or just play this game so much all the time. I have 1,400 gold. I like getting these, so I'm going to save up a little bit more. These allow you to participate in events that you didn't get a chance to participate when they actually happened, and I think they're a really great idea. Oh man, we still didn't get victory. Wow. We're on a losing streak. How do we stop this? We keep on killing 2 boats. I don't know what's happening to us. This Shinome, it survived. It got. That's why we didn't kill it. Devastating strike. Confederate first blood, and the Texas was also quite good. They won. They beat everything. If we had just done our job and killed these 2. We could have done it. Let's take all the personal responsibility, you know, put the team on my shoulders, personally win the war. So there's so much you can carry a team. I think it's 70 yards. You can carry a team to the 70-yard line. I think that's as far as you can carry the team. Be your best boat self. Yeah, that's really what it is. It's about offering your best boatness to the world and having them, you know, they can choose to accept it or not accept it, but your job is just to offer the most purest form of boat that you can. I do love this game so much. See the China, fucking communist China all the time. Oof. Yeah. There's a different flag you can get for it when it was I think the People's Republic of China. Yeah. Very pretty game. You can see everything, all the moving parts coming around. It's really worth all the close-ups. Right, so this map is just capture the flag. We don't have any points to capture, so we can, in some ways, be, the purest form of our role and get out there and do some spotting, right? Which is what destroyers originally are for in, naval open ocean engagements, is to get out there, light up the enemy, report back direct radio targeting information, and help coordinate the guns and report fall of shot and a number of other different important picket line duties that involve information warfare, basically. I'm going to see if I can either avoid or take down some of this airplanes that are out here. And if not, I want to get onto the flank again so that I can target, isolated battleships that are too far away. Like this New Mexico. Of course, if I do get spotted by airplanes, I will die. Because that is the current state of the meta that we find ourselves in World of Warships. But, if we can focus on just avoiding airplanes and not run headlong into a salvo of AP shells from the New Mexico or the Queen Elizabeth, I think we could be okay. I think we can find a way to make it work. Our other aircraft carrier put air cover over this area, this Bioni. Oh, we got an Alcasta coming up to meet us. Yep, there it is. There it is. Alright. There we go. It's slowing down to get to smoke. Just kind of use that. It's going backwards. I'm just going to fill that area with torpedoes ahead of time, just in case it comes back and forth. Oh wow, we took a big hit there. Not sure if we earned that one. The Pensacola. Yeah, the Pensacola's job is to kill us. Absolutely. We're gonna get the speed boost going just to get out of here. I don't want to get hung up on this. A little micro dodge there. We're gonna really destroy our boat on the shoals of this Pacific island here. Yep, video games are great in that way. You don't have to actually be responsible for your boat damage. Ooh, and we got it! We got one of the torpedoes. Caught him.
Great start.
Caught him looking. Yeah, and that's why you don't, and that's first blood for us. That's why you don't stay in that smoke. If you're dropping smoke like that, you need to get out of there. Because it's just a magnet for torpedoes at this level. Of course, we are tier 6, so people aren't always necessarily going to be the best or the most experienced. But it's still an important lesson to teach the newbies. It's like, you hang out in smoke, I'm going to torpedo you. And my expectations in line with nature. Alright, Skirov is coming over to give us some problems. I don't know what we're going to do against this. I don't want to gunfight it. I might just drop torpedoes and leave. Especially we might be able to get something, but maybe not. I expect that Kirov to turn out, which is why I was going a little bit more. I'm just going to go directly away from the Kirov. I'm going to get my speed up to 35 knots. And I'm going to leave the situation. Hopefully these Nah, it doesn't look like
Engine
he's...
boost
Yeah, he
deactivated.
didn't turn out enough, so we'll just barely miss him. We could say hi to the Kirov, you know, waste some of its shots. Now that it's out here, it's targeting someone else. Should be a good invitation. Oh, now it's looking straight at us. Yep. Get some hits and then just get out of there. Nice, some of its shells. There we go. Just do a little bit of harassment damage. You know, that's all we want. Don't want to commit too much. And come in and do a torpedo attack against this Bayern. Have probably a better chance. And that's really what destroyers are for. They're getting just in range, releasing some torpedoes, and getting out before they're spotted. There's a great story from World War II about this. I think the History Channel had it a while back about I forget the battle. It might actually have been Leyte Gulf, but there's a whole... Oh, we're too close. This is bad. We're gonna get spotted. Yep. Alright, so those are right on target. This Bayern is going to turn directly in, which is smart. You know, it's good for him to do. I'm not going to waste smoke against this Bayern. I'm just not going to do it. If the Bayern wants to waste all day, you know, shooting at the narrowest target in the game, a destroyer going directly away from you is welcome to. If he gets lucky, we will die. If he doesn't, then he'll be wasting all of his shots on something he cannot damage. There we go, we got bow fire. That's gonna be good. Just in case those of you don't know, bow is the front of the ship, the stern is the back of the ship, the aft. And it looks like this Bayern is regretting his choices. You know, so the good thing about that torpedo spread is by showing us, you know, that we're a destroyer and we're in his face and we've sent torpedoes, it forced him to turn directly into us, right? Reducing the distance between him and the rest of our team. And that means that he's already locked into a course that puts him in danger. You know, he'll be in danger either way. He'll be in danger if he turns out. He'll be in danger if he turns in. And, you know, we got very little damage for that. And we, you know, caused the enemy to have one of their battleship drivers make a very poor choice. Well, that choice did not turn out well for him. And now we can do it again. We could do it to the New Mexico if we want to. No, and the Kirov isn't looking too hot, so it looks like we're winning this flank. And looking at casting glances at our other flank, looks like the Ismail and the Le Gastonniere on the other side is doing quite well too. And there's Nicholas over there, so this should be pretty safe. It should be pretty good. You know, it should all be good in the hood. I do want them to kill that Kirov, but he is behind an island. So maybe we'll have to kill him. Looks like a little oversight on the New Mexico. If I was this Bayern, I'd be going a lot more focused on the Kirov. Nice. Nice. There we go. Excellent work, team. I don't know if I'm going to get close enough to do a torpedo attack on this New Mexico before he dies, so I'm just going to open up on him. Put ourselves a little bit out. Oh, hit the island. Oh, this Bayern is attracting a lot of fire and attention. Ooh. Hey. So, because we are moving forward, I'm aiming at the back of the ship because our momentum will carry forward to our shells and will land to the right of our targeting reticule. So a lot of people have problems aiming in this game. You know, the first time they try it. Those aren't for us. Yep. There we go. Alright.
Our team has taken the lead.
That's a flank pretty well won, and we could just point our nose right at the enemy base and just wait, you know, at this point. And we could apply pressure to the middle. The Graf Spee and the Koning seem to be engaging. Looks like the Omaha, the enemy Omaha, is at their base, kind of AFK. Of course, if our furious, our English aircraft carrier has anything to say about it, the Graf Spee will be harassed him to death. Oh, there's 2 torpedoes following the Graf Spee. Ooh, big hits on the Graf Spee from the New Mexico. Oh, yeah, that'll slow him down. Thinking twice about his life decisions now. The Graf Spee is a commerce raider. German got out into the Atlantic and sunk quite a few English convoy boats. Whereas we are having torpedoes, so I guess that's kind of our cue to not get hit by torpedoes and to apply some anti-aircraft pressure. These torpedoes would love to just torpedo the shit out of our New Mexicos and Bayerns and Konings. But if we get really close to them, we can hopefully try to take them down. Whereas DD anti-aircraft is really bad. It's one of the worst in the game. The Anshan is not known for its anti-aircraft capabilities whatsoever, but we got one. We did get one. It just goes to show you, if you try your hardest, you can murder some pilots of a different nationality than your own. And that's really what we're all here for, isn't it? I mean, fight, not murder. You know, they tried. All right. Yep, I think this is pretty much in the bag. We have a huge weight of material advantage over them. A Ranger over here. That might be good for us. You know, at this point, there's some differences in opinion in the World of Tanks and World of Warships community about what's the best to. Should you win the game? Should you farm damage? Should you farm, you know, whatever the thing is that you want? So we set a fire. We took out that fire. I just like using HE on aircraft carriers because sometimes just the sheer angle of their bow of the ship, no matter how thin the skin of the ship is, will cause the shell to bounce. And, you know, or over penetrate, to be honest, which could be just as bad. Whereas HE, you always know what you're going to get, and, you know, the fire chance can really help you out. And you might just get citadels anyway, because the armor is so thin on carriers that it's like, you know. So I'm aiming a little bit up because I want the bottom of the ship for the citadels, but this game does its dispersion in little ovals. Yeah, and we're getting 5 citadels there, yeah. There we go. So that was some good damage. I'm going to come around this island, because if I tried to turn into it, I would hit the island. I'm going to go for that AFK Omaha. Really just, you know, maximum farming at this point. I'm so much of a farmer, I should get a combine or a hoe. I should join Conagra. You should call me Monsanto. That's how much of a farmer I am. Of course, here I can't switch to AP because, you know, cruisers, even bad cruisers, have some armor. Yep, there we go. That's the citadels right there. That's the money. That's 4 citadels. You know, Omaha gets citadeled anyway, like a lot, like a piece of cake. So there you go, 6 citadels, destroyer, and oh, we got some angry airplanes coming for us. Oof. Pensacle's the only one left, and that's gonna be well outside of our range. We're gonna win before that. Whoa, whoa, what? Ah, jeez. The Omaha was alive. The Omaha was alive and sent torpedoes. Oh, my hubris. All of the hubris. That just goes to show you. You're at the most danger when you think you're closest to victory. That's some Sun Tzu for you. That's some art of war. In real life. In real action. Holy God. Rough. That's a much larger repair bill than I wanted. Just goes to show you, just send torps, you know. When in doubt, send torpedoes. 'Cause they might turn out well. And also that one of the reasons we couldn't dodge was because the aircraft carrier knocked out my rudder, or knocked out my engine, my propeller, so that I couldn't get, you know, past the torpedoes. That was very, you know, sharp arrangement of unfortunate events. Alright, so we won. We destroyed an enemy ship. We earned an honorary achievement. Everybody loves those. We got all these achievements. Dunkirk, more progress. Got that free XP. Alright, I'm not sure what these are, you know. Lots of citadels. Still not the top of our thing. We just missed it from the Ismail. Got Dreadnought. We got First Blood. We got 1 airplane. Ismail did a great job. Basically destroying their entire air force. 11 planes. And we got the 3 kills. Alright, reward collected. Got some pretty healthy rewards here. I'd like to see the Eagle do well, considering it also lost. Alright, so let's see what the Eagle needs. Oh, the Eagle needs concealment expert. That's what I was trying to get for the Eagle. Yeah, no way. That's worth a flag or 2. We should probably put a flag on that. First, let's not explode. Always a good place to start. Now, let's do more fire and maybe flood. And then let's do still more fire. And that, I think, is one of the strong points of this ship, is our fire chance goes up to like, what is it? 12%. 12% on guns that fire this often. 5 guns for a DD is very nice. One of the best. And then let's just burn the rest of our flags. We have the most of these. And let's just get one of these. Just for kicks. Let's try our next highest. Credits. And then Commander XP. Alright, that seems good. Let's just roll with it. Gotta roll with it. Flags give you benefits. Carbon Speed Dating says, what are flags for? Flags give you stat bonus benefits, which is come under a lot of scrutiny by the community when they were first introduced because they were like, you know, pay to play or pay to win. You know, they make like 5% extra speed, right? Or 5% better fire chance, or, you know, extra money or extra things. It's just a way to monetize the game, you know, without making it like World of Tanks does, like gold ammo, or like, you know, things that literally increase the penetration of the game, of what the game is. And I hear that World of Tanks is changing that. You know, they're trying to get, you know, first they made gold ammo able to buy with credits, so it was just premium ammo. And, you know, later I think they're going to have it in some other ammo rework way where they... I forgot what they were doing. I think it was accuracy, like make it less accurate. I'm not sure. I'd have to look it up. I've done a lot. Oh, yeah. I mean, I've been playing this game for a very, very, very long time. This aircraft is going to be targeting me. It's actually going to be targeting the Farragut, but still. Going to go into a huge amount of anti-aircraft fire by going after that Pensacola. That's a mistake. I don't know what that aircraft carrier is thinking. That's probably a bad idea. Yeah. There we go. Budioni's up. I don't want to get spotted. Guess our job is to just pressure this flank. We got a destroyer right there. Farragut. Alright, that's what we want. Let's take some shots at this Farragut. And this is our first salvo. Second salvo was secured by island. But we forced that smoke. So this is one of the kind of benefits. Oh, that's a cool thing. Because we're a destroyer pretending to be a cruiser, in some ways we could just act like a cruiser. We could just, you know, open up at range and, you know, apply our DPS to the targets that we want to apply. Oh, well, looks like we hit that Nuremberg. That's our fault. It happens. It happens in wartime. Alright, so you're getting some damage on this Farragut. Kind of want to be aiming a little more ahead. Farragut's one of the faster DDs. When we are hitting him, looks like we're incapacitating several modules. We're gonna just start turning away. There we go. And we got the kill. Still want to turn away. I don't want to be close to this fight. We don't have the longest range. Like, actually no one's in range of us right now. And this Nuremberg is going up against the border, beaching himself like a whale on the gamification of this ocean. Alright, we're coming off of the boundary here. Let's just get up some speed. And now we're out. Okay. So, very good. I took a destroyer off the enemy. This is an Izamal. Map the Petioni, the Queen Elizabeth. Oh, there's an Icarus over here. I want to kill the Icarus. Our job is to kill the destroyers, and we would be well employed to do that. Very long, very far away. Very long arching shots. Gonna keep them barely in our line. Let's see if we can get some hits. There we go. Got one. Got two. Got three. Now they're falling. Oh, it's changing course a little bit. giving us some jukes and dodges. So ranging at this distance is really more of an art than a science. You want to try to predict what the enemy player is going to try to think of to juke you out, to avoid your shots. You want to play kind of that game with them where you're covering a lot of their angles and making them make new decisions. Kind of, you know, mentally tax them. Of course, we could just switch to a target we actually can hit at this range. Destoyers. Oh. Farragut is attracting a lot of our attention for us. So these long arcing shots, you know, over the island is really, you know, these giant rainbows of fire are what this ship is, you know, good at. Keeping people at this long distance and really engaging in this huge arcing battle. Getting those fire chances, you know, that fire damage is going to stick a lot more than like any continued rate of fire that we can bring to the table as far as direct damage goes at this range, which is why I love using HG. But look at that, you know, that arc of fire went all the way over this huge mountain. I'm well inside this mountain's, you know, what should be the cutoff range. But my time to target is pretty massive. So, you know, I think it's a balanced ship. It's very interesting to have that different style of play come into the premium things. That's one of the things I love the most about premium ships is they offer, you know, not stronger gameplay, but just different gameplay, you know, and that's, I think, totally worth asking more money for from a company that, you know, went through the time and effort to think of, you know, this new way to interpret the game system. And they're just fun, you know. It's good to have unique ships, you know, to have an identity, you know, that a player can enjoy, you know, and can, you know, really represent. Like, I like all of my games to be a little bit role-playing games, and you know, the Eagle absolutely allows for that. Yep, got another fire. That 12% fire chance working its magic for us. And this rate of fire, you know, it does not give up. So when a ship is moving like this, you know, directly away from us at a small angle, like, you can pretty much aim high on the ship and it's going to be a pretty good shot. Your dispersion, of course, is not always perfect, but it's pretty good. This Icarus, we need to kill this Icarus. This Icarus is showing itself way too close to us. This is a true test of our marksmanship. Yep, there we go. We couldn't kill that Eagle. I shouldn't be playing, you know. I shouldn't be at the level that I'm at right now. At this point, if I played the game for, you know, 3 years, I couldn't hit that shot on the first try. This really speaks to other issues. Alright. 8 kilometers. The bad thing about playing so many destroyers is you continually forgetting which engagement distance you're under. Alright, we can clean up some of these. I want to take out this Destoyer. Oh, that's not the one I want. Oh. Okay. Never mind. Looks like we missed. I don't like being in the exact gun sights of battleships, so I'm going to hit pop smoke. Yeah, that's something I don't want to do. I don't want to spend my time, spend my life Oh, it's not my favorite way to spend my day off, is in the gunships, in the gun sites of any small. This arrangement of battleship is so strange. It's uniquely Russian, and I don't think it's very good. It's certainly not like used by the other countries. And I don't know if that's just because Russia is committed to its design choices, or you know, their communism or idealism is forcing them to have different ideas. But it's you know, very balanced, evenly distributed, but it means that there doesn't have a lot of superstructure to shoot at. You know, there's one smokestack, there's very limited bridge, lots of armor, as you can see by resisting our... Oh wow, this is really bad. We need to get this. This is 100. How is it all the bounces for the HE? Oh no. There we go. There we go. Oh, very survivable, those Russian battleships. Alright, we're gonna do a quick turn around this island. There we go. Egla is quite fast. I'm not sure if I could get close, if I should get close to this Queen Elizabeth or not. I think the Ismail has it. I should just give fire support to kind of end it quicker. Or they're gonna ram each other, which is another possibility. Yep, they rammed each other. Oh my gosh, battleship players. Battleship players always love to do that. I guess they have the survivability to go in. And I got caught myself up on these rocks. Very dangerous. There we go. I've had times where I was stuck on the rocks for all match. It's very embarrassing. Do not recommend it. Like, you know, sometimes in the game, like, I wouldn't say be afraid of rocks. You know, like some other YouTubers or streamers, like pulling a knots or by getting hit up on the rocks. I think using the rocks appropriately is absolutely viable, and you should definitely do that. I want to kill this like a son. Yeah, it's so low. He needs to die. Oh, so I want to set fire to this Congo. That's a good sound. Who? Oh, he loaded HE for me. Wow. The honor when a battleship player starts loading HE just for you. How beautiful it is. So I'm flying away, or I'm sailing away from my target. So I'm gonna aim up a little bit above the deck, only a smidge, so that when the shots land, it'll land on the deck. I do want that Lagosanye to die, but I have to defeat targets in order. Oh, he did hit an island. I pulled a Notzer, not being aware of my surroundings. And these non-penetrations on this Russian battleship group. There we go. That fires. The fire chances. Beautiful. Oh, there's airplanes to kill over there. Do hate airplanes. We could use our speed, but I don't think we need to. I don't think we should. I think we should just either cap or kill that ranger. Yeah, this ship also has terrible AA. Like, one of the worst AA in general. A 0.9 kilometers range, or 3 kilometers. You know, whichever. 0.9. If an airplane is 0.9 kilometers away from you, you are in way more trouble than what air-to-aircraft can fix. The detectability range by air is 3.5, so airplanes can see me 0.5 kilometers before I can see them. That is never a good situation. I'm going to point the nose of my ship at the center of the circle. That is the shortest point between those two lines. And, ooh. It died from the fire. Rough. Well, I think I'm just going to go straight at this carrier. I think that's my best play at this point. We're going to keep him on the port side. Yeah. Okay. We could probably hit him here. We're going to have to deal with the torpedo bombers in a second. But that's always something that we have to deal with. Alright, got that fire, the first shot, beautiful. I love this boat. Like, I was so happy. I'm happy every time I get, obviously a premium ship in a container. It's always a good time, but this one, I looked up all the reviews for it online from Flamu and, Mighty Jingles and Notzer, and, they all said it was very, very interesting, lots of potential, but, very, very situational, very specific. Getting Citadels on HE is just nice. And, but its caliber is really good, has good rate of fire, and, there's just really interesting artillery gameplay of, like, these arcs that just keep going and going and going. And it's just different, it's just, as a destroyer connoisseur, I find it so rewarding to have a destroyer that behaves differently than other destroyers in the game. There's the fire, and there's the kill. Alright. Well, I think that's a good, ending point. I'm gonna kind of sign off here. And, well, we got lots of players. 5 kills. That's a good day. Anytime you could get 5 kills, you could kill, out of 12 players, getting 5 kills. Oh, Ismail also got 5 kills. Or no, that's airplanes. Sorry. 4 kills. Good for him. And still not the top. With 5 kills. It's still 200 XP under these Ismals. They're just so strong right now. I guess I'll never live up to the Russian battleships in my life. Congo, just some good fire damage, Not a lot of torpedo stuff, just being a gunboat, be annoying, be out there, clean up kills. Alright. Well, thank you very much for tuning in, those of you that tuned in, and I'll see you later. Catch you on those open seas.